When I met Omar, the way I met him walking into a courthouse, he held my keys as I walked in. He didn't want to give them back to me. And he said, I want to date you. And I said, give me my keys. He gave me my keys and I went about my business. When I walked out, he was waiting for me and he says, give me your phone number. And I says, I don't give my phone number to strangers.
You're walking to your car, you get in the car, you close the door.
I walked to my car. I was going to open the door and he held the door shut so I wouldn't open it. I'm facing the door and he comes right and he faces me right there, very close to me. And he looks at me in my face and my eyes and he says, I want to go out with you and you are going to be mine. And I says, no, I'm not. Get out of my face. He says, you are going to be mine. You watch, you are going to be mine. And he walks away. The next time I heard from Omar was, I was at the child support office and I was taking a break. And I got a phone call and it was him. I asked who was calling and says, Omar. I said, how did you get my phone number? He says, I told you I would get it. And I said, oh. And he said, I'm Omar. I'm Muslim. I have a wife. I want to go out with you. I want to be in a relationship with you. I am allowed to have a relationship out of my marriage. I want you to come meet my father. He is very strict, so I have to bring you to meet him. And I said, no. He says, I don't want to date you. What part of I don't want to date you don't you understand? And he says, you are going to be mine. I want to date you. I want to see you. And I said, no, I don't want to date you.
Did the rejection seem to fire him up?
The rejection fired him up. It was like a switch, like an on and off switch. He would be talking smooth to you now, and then when you said no or you rejected him, it was like you did not say no to me. And he would stand in front of you like and point his finger in your face and says, you will be mine. You will. You watch and you will be mine.
And then what happened at Walmart?
At Walmart, I was one night at Walmart with my daughter and I was kneeling looking at something. And he came up to me. I didn't know he was standing next to me and he kicked me. I looked up to him and I said, don't you ever kick me again.
He came out of nowhere.
He came out of nowhere.
You're looking down.
I'm looking down.
And he hits you on the leg.
And he hits me.
And your daughter is there.
And my daughter is right next to me.
She saw it.
Yes, she did. And then he started inboxing me on Facebook. And he wanted to see me, And I kept saying, no, no, no. And then he started calling me. Every time I never answered his inboxes, he wanted to talk to me. He would call me. He wouldn't call you at 6, 7 o'clock at night. He would call you at 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Those were his times when he wanted to see you.
So he'd send you a message and then follow up with a phone call.
And then follow up with a phone call. So there is no one-on-one talk on Facebook.
So the message was like, I can get to you anyway.
I can get to you anyway. That's a message from him. Don't hide from me.
It's almost like you paint a picture of someone who'd come out of nowhere.
Yep, that's the way it was. He came out of nowhere.
He'd drop into your Facebook.
Drop in my Facebook.
Call from an unblocked number, a call from an unknown number.
Yep.
And then he'd be gone.
That's the way it was. He wanted my address. I never gave him my address. Never gave him my address.
How do you think he got your phone number?
I have no clue. And I asked him, how did you get my number? So I told you I would get it. Never found out how.
But how many times would you estimate Omar Mateen contacted you in that 3-year period?
I can say like 25, 30 times.
You just blew it off as an obsessed guy.
Yes.
But not obsessed enough to call or report.
Not exactly. I wasn't afraid of him. I went through it once.
I wonder if you regret that.
Maybe, but he never touched me. He never hit me. It was just somebody that was following me. And he never came to my door. He never came to my apartment.
And that's why you didn't call.
And that's why I didn't call,
police.
Because he never invaded my personal, my home or my kids. He never threatened me with my kids. If it would have went that far, right. Yes, immediately I would have gone to the police.
It's almost as if he was obsessed with you.
I think.
But he didn't know you.
But he didn't know me.
And he couldn't let it go.
Nope. He said I was really pretty. He says, you're gorgeous. You're beautiful.
And he said, I will have you.
I will have you. And he pointed out very clear. He says, you will be mine. You will be. And I says, no, I won't. He didn't like that. And I am totally grateful to God that I never gave him hope, that I never allowed him in my life, because a man that goes through rejection the way he did, I could have been dead, because I say no a lot.
I wonder if you ever got emotional after you saw what happened and realized it was him.
I felt emotional because he killed a lot of people, innocent people, my people, Latins. I'm Latin. This is rejection. He got rejected. And that's what made me mad. That's what made me angry, that he killed Latins.
Despite the statements he made that makes terrorism a part of the investigation, you think it boils down to a guy who had just been rejected by people like you his entire life?
Yes. I believe in that. I believe that's what happened. He got rejected. He didn't get what he wanted. I believe he was looking for somebody. He was looking either for some kind of attention, some kind of love, and he couldn't get it. And this is his way of showing hate. I hate you. I hate Latins. I hate because nobody loves me, or you don't love me, or you're not paying attention to me. So he went away and did this.